What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to tonight's live stream. I'm super excited to hang out with you guys and talk some of the new content that we got today. What a day, you guys. Wow. We got a new TV spot for the Super Bowl. We got a brand new poster, and I am just, I'm so excited. There's a lot to talk about. I did put out a video earlier today. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out after the stream. Because I don't know if we're going to get into everything from that video in this live stream, but we are going to talk about some stuff. And we also did just get the announcement that tickets go on sale February 9th. So that is so exciting. That is a week from today, Monday, February 9th. So be sure to grab your tickets the second they go on sale. I know I am buying them immediately because I don't want to risk it getting, being sold out. I need to see this movie the earliest chance I can. All right, let's get into it. Let's see who we have in the chat. Oh my God, I see we have 75 people here right now. That's insane. Thank you so much, you guys. We have Harley Cook here. Talk Scream is here. Hey, Caleb. Hey, Russell. Yes, please. If everyone could give the stream a like, I would appreciate that. Definitely helps out the channel, helps to push out this stream to more people. So if we could get 75 likes right now with all 75 people here, that would be amazing. Brett is here throwing out our first super chat. Thank you, Brett. You said, how are you? I'm good. Thank you. I hope you are too. You said my prediction was right. Like I said last week, trailer right near the Super Bowl. Yep, you were right. I cannot wait to see this. Like, I'm not a football fan, but I do like watching the Super Bowl just for like the commercials and stuff like that in general. So I'm definitely going to be watching the whole thing to see this TV spot. It's going to be so exciting when it just randomly pops up. Like, you don't know at what point throughout the game it's going to pop up. So that will be exciting. Thank you so much, Brett, for your super chat. And John has thrown out a $10 super chat. Thank you, John. You said, just found your channel a few weeks ago. Love your energy for the franchise. I've got so many theories, but I'm not sure where to start. I'm hoping for a great win for the cast and fans. Thank you so much, John. That is super kind of you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the support on the channel. Yeah, I have a ton of theories on my channel. My channel's almost 3 years old. So if you go back, I have hundreds of Scream theory videos. And since you're new here, you're in for quite the treat because you just have so many past videos to catch up on. But yeah, if you have any theories you want to discuss tonight, John, start throwing them out in the chat because that is what we do here in these live streams. We discuss all kinds of Scream theories about Scream 7 or even about the past movies. We even talk about the other sequels in the franchise. So everyone start dropping your theories in the chat. I will try my best to get to all of them, but as you guys know, it's just so difficult with so many people here in the stream to get to everyone's comments. So if you do a super chat like John did, that guarantees that I will see it. It will get addressed in the live stream. We will talk about your comment if you send in a super chat. Otherwise, feel free to just send in your normal comments in the chat, but I will try my best to get to everyone. And thank you again to all 87 people who are here right now on a Monday night. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you, John, for your super chat. Has thrown out a super chat saying, I still haven't wrapped my head around the big game spot. And then I see like 5 different TV spots. It was cool to see Ben for the first time. Yeah, so I know what you're talking about. There's apparently more TV spots, but They have not been officially released. So that is why I haven't done a video on them. They've kind of been leaked. I'm not really into talking about leaks on the channel. It's a different kind of leak, I do think that the TV spots you're referring to are official content from, Paramount and the movie creators, but they just haven't been officially released yet. So I just like to wait until the official accounts have released them to talk about it. So I don't know if we're going to get into that tonight. I might mention it just briefly in passing, but yeah, we're not really going to dive into that much today. And just a reminder, I do have a pinned comment at the top. We're not talking Scream 7 leaks. There have been some leaks going around. If we talk about it in the chat, my moderators will unfortunately have to block you, so don't do that, please. But thank you so much, for your super chat. Let's see. Spicy Oreo is here. Welcome. Russell says Gale Weathers still looks good. Maybe we get another punch from Sidney Prescott to Gale Weathers. Yeah, she does look great. Let's pull up the picture while we're at it. A screenshot of a new scene, a brand new scene that we got today. Let's see, where is it? So, from the new TV spot we got today for the Super Bowl, we got this image of Gail's talk show. Sidney is finally going to give Gail that interview that she's been wanting from day one. So I am so hyped for this scene. It's a long time coming. And I said in my video earlier today, I wonder how the conversation is going to go. Because, so in the scene, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you here have seen it at this point. Gail says something like, what does she say? This killer has been planning this attack for years. Your daughter is the same age you were when this all started, which is interesting because Ghostface said that same thing in a previous teaser trailer or TV spot that we got. I saw someone further down in the chat mention that as well. Yeah, that is interesting. That Gail says the exact same lines that Ghostface says. I don't know if that's just a coincidence. Could it be Gail is working with this Ghostface? I don't think that's the case. I do think that's a little far out there of a theory. But at the same time, never say never. I don't know. What do you guys think? But I am very excited for this scene right here. Yeah, I think so. This probably happens in at least the second half of the movie because of the outfit that Sidney's wearing. So far we've seen her in 3 different outfits. This one here that Sidney's wearing, a sort of dark navy blue sweater with like white stripes, and something else we saw in whatchamacallit, the thing from today is a new outfit that I don't know if we had seen this before. This is definitely a new clip we got today, but I think this is also a new outfit that we hadn't seen before. This outfit that Sidney's wearing here. So far, I think Sidney's wearing 3 different outfits, but I do think this one from Gail's talk show is her final act outfit, which brings me to this shot from the TV spot today, which is a scene we've seen before, but we sort of got like a different version of it today. So this scene right here, we've seen before. Sidney says, "Where is my daughter?" I think it was in the full-length trailer back in October. But this time, what else? Doesn't she say something else? But I don't know if she says another line, but Stu, in this shot of Sidney here, Stu says, "This is gonna be fun." And look at Sidney's face here. She looks like Ghostface just revealed themselves to her. So I do think that this is the actual reveal. I think that whoever's under the mask, which I do believe is Stu, but regardless of who it is, I do think this is the reveal, and this is Sidney's reaction to that reveal. So that was very exciting to see. Um, I think we have a couple more super chats that came in. Vinny Slaughter is here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. You said upon rewatch, why does no one bring up the dolls hung up in Stu's attic? I also believe Stu created the Ghostface persona, not Billy. He's a creative one in my opinion. When you say why does no one bring up the dolls in Stu's attic, do you mean us fans? Like no one in the fandom brings it up? Because at least here on my channel, we do talk about it from time to time. I don't know if you're referring to fans in real life or like characters in the movie, but yeah, Stu definitely, was clearly off his rocker to do something like that. And I do think it kind of just shows it's like reminiscent of what happened to Casey Becker. She was strung up from the tree. So, yeah, I think it's an interesting little look inside the mind of Stu Macher, in his crazy mind. But interesting that you think Stu created the ghost face persona rather than Billy. He's a creative one. Definitely possible. I mean, I do think people don't give Stu enough credit. I've said before, like, people consider Billy to be the mastermind over Stu, but it was literally Stu's idea to frame Neil Prescott. So, he has some creative ideas. So I'm with you. I think Stu very well could have been the one to be like, you know what, let's dress up as this costume from the Five and Dime. And yeah, I'm with you, Vinny. Thank you so much for your super chat. We have another one from John. Thank you, John. You said one theory. What if Roman was secretly more aligned with Stu over Billy? I've noticed we really don't know much about Stu at all. Roman maybe saw more potential in him and made an extra plan for Scream 7. So, I think that Roman didn't know Stu, during the events of the first movie, because when Stu finds out about Billy's true motive, he seems surprised, like he didn't know why they were doing that. Billy reveals his actual motive to Sidney, that his motive was that her mom cheated, like hooked up with his dad and broke up their family, and Stu didn't seem to know that. He just thought we were doing this for fun. So that makes it seem like he didn't know who Roman was. And that's kind of the general consensus amongst the fandom. However, I do think that Roman and Stu could have teamed up in Scream 3. So this is something that we've talked about on the channel extensively. I know you're pretty new here, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but Scream 3 originally had two killers. Scream 3 was shot with 2 killers in mind. That was in the original script, and then, because of real life circumstances, they changed that. But a lot of those scenes that they filmed still appear as if there's 2 killers. They kept those scenes in. So originally it was supposed to be Angelina Tyler. They scrapped that. So there is this fan theory that Stu was actually working with Roman in Scream 3. And I do think we might find that out in Scream 7, especially because, we know that Scott Foley is is back. We don't know in what capacity. Roman was clearly shot in the head. I think he's for sure dead, but maybe we'll get a flashback that Stu and Roman worked together in Scream 3, like maybe Roman helped Stu get away with things in the first movie. Um, after the fact, maybe once, Stu survived, so maybe he heard about Roman's whole thing in Scream 3, so Stu sought out Roman and teamed up with him then. I don't know. It's an interesting theory, and I hope we find out some more in Scream 7. Thank you so much, John, for your super chat. We have 129 people here right now. That is crazy. The hype is real for Scream 7, you guys. By the way, we're 25 days away from Scream 7. I guess technically 24 because it is going to come out the night of the 26th. I'm definitely seeing it Thursday the 26th. Super exciting. And who else do we have here? The Red Man. What is up? Sidney says, mother effer, and points a gun in the trailer. Looking forward to being on Nerdbox next Sunday. This is true. She does say that in the trailer. Some of these scenes, man, that we're getting in these different full-length trailers, teaser trailers, TV spots just look so intense. I cannot believe we have Sidney back. And it's going to be crazy to see her as the focus of this movie because that is not something we've gotten in a long, long time. You can almost say, like, Scream 2 kind of is the last time we were really focused on Sidney. I mean, Scream 3, she wasn't that first half of Scream 3, she wasn't really in it that much. I think this was because of scheduling conflict and in real life, like she was filming another movie or something. And then Scream 4, even though Sidney was in the movie and she was in it a good amount, it was really about like Jill and Kirby and the new group of kids. And then Scream 5, she really took a backseat. Scream 6, she wasn't in it at all. So I'm loving seeing her back front and center for Scream 7. And yes, I am going to be on Nerdbox's channel Sunday, February 15th. We will be doing a live stream where we're going to be predicting who will be the killers, the victims, the survivors. So definitely tune in. Subscribe to Nerdbox if anyone here has not done so already. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you so much, Redman, for your super chat. And Zork is here. You said, I'm off today, gonna make some pasta and meat sauce. Nice. I hope you're enjoying your day off from work. I'm glad you could hang out for a bit during this live stream. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for moderating. I always appreciate all of my moderators. Could not do this without you guys. Thank you, Zork. Ray is here. Hey, Ray. It has been a while. You said I have still done my best to avoid all promotional content for Scream 7, but I was happy to hear the announcement of the fan event February 26th. Go on sale next Monday. I'm def going. Can't wait to go back and watch all trailers and videos once I see the movie. That is crazy, Ray. I cannot believe you managed to steer clear. You have a lot more willpower than I do. I mean, I kind of have to view all of the trailers and stuff for YouTube. This is partly my job. But I think even if I wasn't doing YouTube, I don't think I could resist watching all of the trailers and stuff. Let's see. We have a couple of more super chats. Another one from the Red Man. You may have discussed this before, but in new TV spot, when the cop or Asa Gurman is dragged by Ghostface, you can see another cop laying in the background. Yeah, so we have discussed this shot quite some bit. I don't know if I personally have ever mentioned the body in the background, but I have seen people in my comment section bring that up. Let me see if I have the image that I can pull up. Okay, so this is the only image of that I have readily available. It's not the best image to see the body in the background. I know it's in the full-length trailer. This is from a TV spot that we got maybe a couple weeks ago. So I don't have that image readily available. Yeah, apparently there is a body in the background. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Bear with me. I think it's in the full-length trailer. Maybe it was in that Legacy trailer? I don't know, but I'm sure you guys know what we're talking about, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a cop laying on the floor? I don't know. I hope the kill count for this movie is extremely high. I feel like, Scream 6 didn't have a lot of deaths, at least not major deaths. In that bodega scene in Scream 6, we got 3 kills, but it was like nobody characters that we don't care about, Same thing with Scream 5. Like there was a cop in the hospital who just died off screen. So whoever's laying in the background of this scene, Asa Gurman scene, hopefully it's someone that we actually know. Maybe it's Mark Evans. I don't know. Clearly from the trailers that we've seen, like Mark Evans, I think he's gonna die, you guys. I don't know. This is just my theory. Like nothing's confirmed, but it's not looking good for Mark Evans. So maybe he's the one laying on the floor in the back of this scene, because a lot of people think whoever is on the floor is a cop, and we know that Mark Evans wears this cop uniform throughout all of the trailers that we've seen. So maybe it's him. Thank you so much, Redman, for your super chat. And has thrown out another super chat. So we see the TV thing turn on behind Sidney. What do you think happens, and could it be Ghostface showing her Tatum tied up somewhere? Yes. So anyone here who has seen my video that I posted earlier today, I did point out that in the TV spot for the Super Bowl, Sidney, you can see the TV turn on. Let me try to pull it up for anyone here who maybe hasn't seen it yet. Let me share my screen. So I believe that this is in the final act. And I think it's in Sidney's house. Okay, here we go. Notice the TV in the background. It turns on. You see that screen? Let me slow it down a little bit. Okay, and Sidney enters the house with a gun. And then look at that screen light up in the background. I'm trying to pause it just right. Okay, that's good enough. We can see it lit up. I don't know, you guys. I think this is Ghostface toying with Sidney. Obviously, Sidney didn't turn it on. Who else? I mean, it's a dark house. Like, clearly someone turned it on. I do think it's interesting that, like, whatchamacallit? Um, you know, Sidney dropped a TV on Stu back 30 years ago. Could it be Stu toying with Sidney with a TV? I don't know. But yeah, you're right. You know, it could be footage of Tatum tied up somewhere because I do think that Sidney entering this house, which I do think is her own house, but who knows for certain? I don't know. I do think that this is kind of the start of the final act, or at least the start of where that reveal happens. And we know that in another scene, Sidney says, "Where's my daughter?" So I think at this point, Tatum is somewhere missing. So maybe it is footage of Tatum tied up. Maybe it's, I don't know, the news. Something happens on the news. It could be anything. It could be some footage that Ghostface has recorded, kind of like in Scream 2 with Mickey. That's what I'm thinking, maybe. Yeah, very, very exciting. Thank you so much, Yuno, for your super chat. Can you hear me? Let me know. Can you guys hear me? I know it cut out. Can you hear me now? Let me know. Okay, audio is back. Cool. Thank you, J-Rod. All right. Alex has sent in a super chat saying, "I think that I figured out something about Ethan Embry's character, which I want to tell you about. Would that be okay?" Alex, as long as it's just a theory of yours, something that you might have noticed in a trailer or a poster, as long as it has nothing to do with Scream 7 leaks, which are not welcome here, then yeah, it's fine. If it's a theory of yours, something that a thought that you had on your own, that's totally fine. Feel free to share it. Thank you, Alex, for your super chat. Yuno said in the big game spot at 34 seconds, you can see it's Chloe. It looks like the same spot where she is hiding from Ghostface behind the bar counter. Let's see. 34 seconds. Oh, I see what you're saying. when Asa's getting dragged away. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought this up because I think there's a new TV spot that was released officially, but it's on like Paramount Brazil or something like that. Where there is new footage of Celeste O'Connor, and I think you can see that Asa Gurman's character is there. I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep up with like all the different TV spots we're getting on top of like the leaked TV spots and all these different trailers with different scenes or different angles of the same scene, and it's hard to remember exactly like what is going on. But yeah, I do very well think that could be the same scene, like in the bar, which I do think the twins are there for as well. Let's see. Okay, yes. So this image that I'm about to share is from another TV spot we got today, but it's like Paramount Brazil account. It's like an extended version of Celeste O'Connor. And, you know, Ghostface is really attacking her. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to survive, you guys. You know, we've seen her get attacked from 3 or 4 different angles in all of the trailers and stuff that we got. I suppose she could still survive just because look at what other characters have survived, like Chad and Mindy even. You know, just because we see Celeste O'Connor continuously get attacked doesn't mean she's gonna die. Same with Mark Evans. You know, I keep saying that I think Mark's gonna die, but he's not necessarily gonna die. He could very well survive because we've seen characters survive some crazy stuff. Thank you, Yuno, for your super chat. Brett has thrown out another super chat, and you said if you look at my comment that I put on the video that you released earlier today, I say that because of who's in the Super Bowl, who's playing in the Super Bowl. So I didn't notice your comment. I will have to look out for it after the stream because there's just too many comments to sort through right now. And I also have no idea who's even playing in the Super Bowl. That's how little I know about sports and stuff. So Brett, I will have to look out for that after the stream. But thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate the support on the channel. We have another super chat, one from Roman. You said, I like how Sidney looks tired in that new poster, not scared. Thank you for bringing this up. Let's pull up the new poster that we got today, which is insane. I absolutely love it. Let's see here. So it is an old school style poster. It's very reminiscent of the first movie, even the second movie. Sidney is front and center with a knife and with the tagline, Face Your Past, with the nice Scream 7 logo at the bottom. And let me remove this comment for a moment because Matthew Lillard's name is on the poster. You heard that correctly. Matthew Lillard, Stu Macher, his name is on the poster. So we already knew that Matthew was going to be in the movie, but we don't know exactly how. Of course, most of us here think he's alive. Many people think he's just going to be AI or what have you. But this tells me that he's playing a big role in the movie to have his name on the poster. He's not just a 2-second cameo of AI or whatever it's going to be. You know, David Arquette's name isn't on the poster. Scott Foley's name isn't on the poster, but Matthew Lillard is. So very, very interesting. I said in my video earlier today, who would have ever thought in 2026 we would be seeing Matthew Lillard's name on a Scream poster? This is just absolutely unreal. And like, I can't think about this stuff for too long because I just want to explode with excitement. Like, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to sleep tonight because of everything we've gotten today. But yeah, so Roman said, I like how Sidney looks tired in that new poster, not scared. Yeah, she's looking pretty run down, kind of just over it. She also looks focused. She looks determined. Like, you know, she's ready to defend her kids, her husband, her family, and I just can't wait. Thank you so much, Roman. Roman Bryant, not Roman Bridger. The Red Man is throwing out another super chat. Gail says nearly same phrase Ghostface does in Legacy Spot. Your daughter is the same age you were when this started. Are they trying to throw us off? Yeah, so we briefly mentioned that earlier in the stream. During this scene, when Sidney is on Gail's talk show, finally, like I said, it's been a long time coming. Gail has been, you know, killing for this this interview with Sidney for a very long time. But you're right. Gail says the same thing that Ghostface said in a previous trailer that we got or TV spot. Ghostface literally said, I've been planning this for a long time. Your daughter is the same age you were. And Gail said, it's a little different, I think, the wording. Gail says, this Ghostface has been planning this attack for years, rather than when Ghostface said a long time. But still, you know, saying the same thing pretty much. And Gail also says, your daughter is the same age you were when this all started. So I don't know if that has any significance. Is it just a coincidence simply because it's a factual statement, you know? Like, it's factual to say that Tatum is the same age Sidney was. So could it just be a coincidence? Possibly. But for Gail to say this Ghostface has been planning this attack for years, how does Gail know that? Like, obviously, I think this is Stu, and I do think that he has been planning this for years. But at this point in the movie, you would think Gail has no knowledge of who the killer is, so she's probably just assuming it's another random person, just like we get in every sequel. So to say that this Ghostface has been planning this for years, how does she know that? You know, if it is just a random person, like what if it was Richie in this movie, let's say, just like a brand new character like Richie was in Scream 5. They haven't been planning it for years. As far, like, I don't know, it's maybe Sidney and Gail come across some information like at the psychiatric hospital that makes them know that it is someone who has been planning this for years. I don't know. I'm very intrigued by Gail saying this line. I know some people think this means that Gail is working with this Ghostface. I don't think that's the case. I think that's a little crazy. But then again, never say never. Anything's possible. But I don't know. It has me thinking Sidney and Gail come across some kind of information in their investigation to make them think that this is someone with a history. Even if they don't know it's Stu at this point, they might think it's someone from their past. Because even, you know, in the trailer, Ghostface says to Sidney this town reminds me of where we grew up. So they might just get these little clues that makes them think it is someone that they know. I don't know. Thank you so much, Redman, for your super chat. We have quite a few more super chats I'm going to get to. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you again to all 141 people here right now. That is crazy. I seriously appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me, talking Scream 7. This is going to be a wild ride up until the movie comes out. I see it just jumped to 150 people, so thank you so much. Please remember to like the stream. If we could get 150 likes right now, that would be amazing. But moving on to Alex's super chat, which is a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. You said, I suspect that Embry's character will be one of the killers since it appears that he works at Fallbrook. I think that he will allow the mental patient to escape so that the patient will be a suspect in the murders. Interesting. I do think this is definitely a possibility. You know, we have a lot of shady characters in this movie. Yeah, Ethan Embry definitely gives me creepy vibes. He very well could be one of the killers. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull up that second poster we got. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look at Ethan Embry there. He is looking suspicious for sure. And yeah, it does appear that he works at the hospital because he has his outfit on the poster looks like a uniform of some sort, like he's an orderly in the hospital. He has a lanyard around his neck, which we see Sidney wear in the scenes that she is at the hospital. So we know that he's wearing a lanyard. So I think you're right that he works at the Fallbrook Hospital. Interesting, though. You think he's going to allow the mental patient to escape so that the patient will be a suspect in the murders? Definitely a possibility. However, this new scene we got today, let me pull it up. Sidney is once again at the hospital, which we have seen before, but this time it's a different angle, a different image. Where is it? Do I have it here? Okay, here it is. I'm just going to remove your comment for a second so that we can see the full image with the police tape there. Look at the police tape on the room in the hospital. So, I don't know. I think whoever the patient is, I think might die. I think this might be like a crime scene, like a murder scene. Although, I don't know for certain, but I can't imagine if the patient escaped, why they would tape it off with the caution tape. I don't know. I feel like that's just for kind of it would just kind of be for a murder. I don't know. What do you guys think about this image that we got today? Thank you so much, Alex, for your super chats tonight. Very generous of you. And I think there could be some truth to your theory for sure. I'm suspicious of Ethan Embry. I want to say I feel like he's going to be a red herring, you know? Like, for example, Vince in Scream 5. He was suspicious, but he was just a red herring. So I don't know. There's many ways that they could mislead us, and I can't wait to find out. Thank you, Alex. And SOCC5027 has thrown out a $10 super chat. Thank you. You said, not sure if you mentioned this. I was a little late, but a channel I watched yesterday had a theory. What if it was Sidney's other daughter who was killed at the Mocker house? Your thoughts on it? So are you referring to Michelle Randolph's character? I think Tatum is her oldest daughter. I think her other kids are younger. It just makes sense, I think. I mean, here's the thing, like, Sidney having a husband and kids is sort of a retcon because in Scream 4, she wasn't married to our knowledge, you know? She didn't let the other characters know. They didn't let the audience know. So I do think this is a retcon because had she actually been married back then in Scream 4 with kids, I think they would have told us. They absolutely would have told us. So I don't know, for Tatum to be 17, she would have had kids already during the events of Scream 4. So I guess she could have an older daughter than Tatum. But I just get the sense that the rest of her kids, whether it's one more or two more, I feel like they're all younger than Tatum. We know at least one of them is younger because we saw the stroller in Scream 5. So we know at least one of them is younger than Tatum. Also, I'm not sure exactly how many she has. Is it 2 or is it 3? So I don't know. I guess it could be possible, but I don't think so. I don't think Michelle Randolph is one of her kids. Thank you so much for your super chat. And the Bearded Entertainment is here with the super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. You said the new poster proudly displaying Matthew Lillard. No way he's just a cameo. I'm with you, Eric. I totally agree. Yeah, Matthew Lillard's name is right there, you guys. He's back. He's on the poster. I think, like I was saying just a few minutes ago, I agree with you. I think if he was just a cameo, no way would he make it on the poster. Like I said, David Arquette, who was a big face of this franchise for years, you know, we know that he's somehow in the movie. He's not on, his name isn't on the poster. So Stu's back, you guys. I'm with you. Thank you, Eric, for your super chat. And Yuno has thrown out another one saying, Stu saying this is going to be fun while Sidney is on screen got me so hyped. By the way, it was actually my birthday, February 1st. Happy birthday, Yuno. I agree with you that, you know, as I was watching that TV spot today, the whole thing just had me so excited to see new footage. Like, my jaw was on the floor the whole time. But then when that happened at the end there, when Stu said his line once again that we've heard before, but with Sidney on screen, I was ready to like jump out the freaking window in a good way. Yeah, so this scene right here, Sidney's face is like, what the hell is going on? Like, I think this is when Stu reveals himself to her. And just like the trailer said, with Stu's line, this is going to be fun. I think that's actually what might be happening. Of course, it could just be stitched together in a way to make it seem like that. But I don't know. I don't know, you guys. That was so good. Thank you so much, Yuno. And Eric has sent out another super chat saying, I think this is the poster they're giving out at the AMC opening night event. Check your local AMC for it. Yeah, I agree. I think this is the poster, and I have to look into it. Yeah, I don't know if my AMC is gonna be doing this, but if they are, you can bet your ass I'm gonna be there for the 6 o'clock showing to hopefully get this poster. I need it. I need to see the movie as early as possible. So yeah, I gotta look into it. I don't know if are they not gonna reveal until the tickets actually go on sale if which locations are doing it? Is there a way to find out um ahead of time before the 9th? Let me know, somebody, if anyone knows. Thank you so much, Eric, for your super chats. The red man says, rumor Ghostface calls the show. Maybe that's after. Ooh, interesting. I kind of remember this rumor floating around a long time ago. Like, I feel like the summer before this past summer, there were rumors of Gail having like a live talk show and Ghostface kind of making a call. That would be sick. That would be absolutely sick if that happens. I would love that. Imagine, like, these talk shows in real life sometimes take calls from fans of the show. Imagine Gail, takes a phone call live on the air and it's Ghostface. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Thank you, Redman. Nero is here with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. You said, I think Ben and Lucas are two killers because it screams fake names throwing back to Star Wars. Also, the third film in that new trilogy had who? Pal I don't know how to say that. Return, even though we all thought he was dead. I don't know. It's definitely possible. Both of these characters, Ben and Lucas, look suspicious to me. But of course, it could just be to throw us off. There's got to be some red herrings in this movie. So I think Ben is Asa Gurman and Lucas. No, I think Lucas is Asa Gurman and Ben is Sam Reckner. I don't know. I could be wrong, but Sam Reckner's character is supposed to be Tatum's boyfriend, I believe. So will they do the boyfriend thing again? I don't know. It's been done twice before. First with Billy, again with Richie, and then in Scream 2 they had to suspect Derek. Of course it wasn't actually him. Scream 6 we suspected Danny. It wasn't him. But the boyfriend has been done twice. And fans have been complaining about just repeating the motives and who the killers are. So will they do that again? I don't know. Maybe, because I guess you could say it's slightly different because it's Tatum's boyfriend rather than Sidney's boyfriend / husband. So I'm kind of leaning more towards Asa Gurman being one of the killers. He does look slightly more suspicious to me. He also kind of looks like Stu. He looks similar to Stu, Asa Gurman. Could they be working together? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Nero. And the red man is throwing out another super chat. One last theory that has been discussed on Nerdbox is that Sam is actually Sidney's daughter and she gave her up before college. So Stu and Sam would be like reuniting Stu and Billy. The letter was Sid? What do you mean the letter? I have heard this theory before about Sam being Sidney's daughter. I don't think it's true. I think it would be kind of interesting if it was the case. However, if that was true, I think they would have, or at least should have, revealed it in Scream 5. I think it's a little too late for that. I don't know. But that would be pretty cool. Like, imagine if whoever the main character we got in Scream 5 as the daughter of Sidney ended up being Sidney's daughter, who she had to give up. I mean, we know that Sidney and Billy slept together, so is it possible? Sure, but I'm not a huge fan of this theory. I don't think it's true. Thank you so much, Redman, for your super chat. Our last super chat for now is from Yuno saying, imagine Sidney puts Ghostface on speaker in the interview. Well, I think it kind of would be on speaker anyway. I think everyone would hear it because that's how it works on TV shows or talk shows in real life. When a caller calls in, like, everyone in the audience can hear it. So that if that happens, that will be very fun to see. Thank you, Yuno. Okay, and I see Redman was finishing that previous super chat that got cut off. The previous one said the letter was Sid. The letter Sam found in 5 was not Mom, she thought. So you're saying the letter was Sidney's? Well, it wasn't. Was it a letter? It wasn't it a journal entry? Like, Sam's mom, Christina, kept a diary. Right? Was it a diary or was it a written letter to someone? I don't know. Like I said, it's an interesting theory, but I don't think there's any truth to it. I think they would have revealed that in Scream 5 or Scream 6. I think it's too late at this point, especially with Sam not being in Scream 7. Thank you, Redman. It appears we are all caught up on super chats. We have 167 people here right now. That's insane. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, I see Eric said it was her diary. Yeah, I thought so. Vinko is here. Yeah, so we were kind of talking about this before. I'm not sure if you were here for that. Yeah, it seems like they might know that it's someone with a history with them. We have a couple more super chats. One from Jester. Will you be live streaming after watching the movie? Hopefully Gail will call him a dipshit again. Billy and Stu are the best. So thank you for your super chat. I definitely will be live streaming. I don't know if it's going to be immediately that night or the next day. Like, definitely that whole weekend, that first weekend, opening weekend of the movie, we're doing nonstop videos on the channel and live streams. So I don't know if it's going to be that night. I'm hoping to see the 6 o'clock showing Thursday night. If not 6 o'clock, then it's going to be like, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. And now I don't know if that's the only showing of the night or if there's going to be another showing immediately after that. And if there is another one, I might just turn right back around and see the movie a second time back to back. It depends. It depends how good it is, especially if Stu comes back. I'm going to turn right back around in that theater and see it again. If there is a second showing that night, I'm not sure if there will be. But yeah, I really don't know what my plan is in general. If I'm going to try to get an actual video out first before I even live stream, it just depends how crazy my mind is going with thoughts. It might take me some time to process the movie before I even want to jump on here. I really don't know. I'm kind of playing it by ear, but we're definitely doing at least one live stream that opening weekend for sure. And I agree, Billy and Stu are the best. Thank you, Jester. Redman says, true, it was a diary. Yes, Christina Carpenter kept a diary and it came back to bite her in the ass. As Randy said, the past will come back to bite you. Thank you, Redman. This is quite the username. Fart Breath has thrown out a super chat. You said, I think it's Ben, Lucas, and Anna Camp. Very well could be. I'm definitely suspicious of Lucas, I think, is Asa Gurman. I keep getting it mixed up. Asa Gurman, I think, is suspicious, and I think Anna Camp is suspicious. It's kind of crazy that we haven't seen anything from her in any of the trailers, teaser trailers, TV spots, nothing. The featurette that we got. So I got my eye on her. I think she could be Leslie Mocker. Thank you, Fart Breath. I appreciate you. A clip of Gail and Sidney's interview is floating around on Instagram. Yes. Hi, Marcus, by the way. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so a couple hours ago on Twitter, I saw all of these other TV spots floating around. You know, yesterday we got these leaked TV spots. Today, there seems to be even more. After we got that official one for the Super Bowl, I've seen them, but they're not officially released by the official accounts. So I personally am not making videos on them yet. I'm kind of just waiting till they're officially released, but definitely very interesting. Definitely has me hype. So we'll see if they ever get officially released. I don't know. Redman says, notice they flipped the drawings image in the TV spot. I did notice that, yes. I noticed it before I even filmed my video earlier today, but I just didn't, I overlooked it in my actual video. Like I didn't mention it. But you're right. The images are flipped. So this is what you're referring to. The image that we got today. Meanwhile, let me pull up the old image we got. Okay, so look at what is currently on the screen right now and look at how the images are. And now I'm about to pull up the older image we got from the other TV spot. So all the sketches are flipped. Don't know what that means, if it means anything. I don't think it does. I just think, I don't know. Maybe it was an accident. It is interesting though. What do you guys think that could mean? Thank you, Redman, for your super chat. Caden says, do you think Sidney will be in Scream 8 or die in Scream 7? I don't think she's going to die. I do hope she's in Scream 8. Hey, King Matthew. Eric says, I think they do the interview to lure out Ghostface. Yes, that is a good theory, and I heard someone else say this too. It's something I hadn't really considered, but I do think you could be right. Because so earlier we were talking about the different outfits that Sidney wears, and in the movie, I think there's 3 different outfits that she wears, at least from what we've seen, and I do think that this outfit in Gail's talk show is her final act outfit. I mean, we know that the white striped sweater that she wears, she already knows at that point that Ghostface is back. So why would she stop in the middle of everything that's going on to be on Gail's talk show? You know, she doesn't have time for this. You know, it's been 30 years of like Gail wanting an interview with her, and now all of a sudden Sidney's just going to decide to do it when Ghostface is literally attacking her family. So I think you're right. I think this makes a lot of sense that the interview is to lure out Ghostface. For sure. um Jason Voorhees says, who do you think will survive, die, and who do you think is Ghostface? I don't know. This is a video that I want to do for the channel at some point. I was kind of waiting until we got a second full-length trailer, but I don't think that is ever going to come, to be honest. I think we're just going to be getting these little TV spots and stuff like that, which I'm totally fine with. I'm loving what they're giving us. We don't need another full-length trailer. But so I do think that I should do my prediction video soon, because I don't think we're going to get that full-length trailer. But I did just kind of want to get more footage of some of these characters with like dialogue and stuff to just get a better feel for them. But I don't know if we're ever going to see that. So I might just have to go off of what we've gotten so far. I do want to do a video for the channel about this, and I am going to be talking about this on Nerdbox's channel on Sunday, February 15th. But I guess we can briefly talk about it a little bit here. I think one of the twins has to go, and out of the 2 of them, I think it's going to be Mindy. I think so. I think McKenna Grace is going to die. I think Mark Consuelos is going to die. I think Joel McHale is going to die for sure. Out of the 3 remaining friends, the 2 new boys and Celeste O'Connor, I think at least one of them has to go. From what we've seen, it looks like Celeste O'Connor is gonna die because she's been attacked a lot in these trailers we've gotten, but that could just be to mislead us. You know what? I'm gonna say Celeste O'Connor is gonna live. I think Asa Gurman's gonna die, but I think he might be a killer. I don't know. Asa Gurman and Anna Camp right now is who I'm thinking for Ghostfaces, in addition to Stu, and then maybe a few other cult members. Said, what if at some point Tatum punches Gail? That Oh, Tatum punches Gail. That would be a great callback to Sidney in 96. I'd probably scream, yes, Tatum, you let her know. That's funny. I don't know. I would like to think that she wouldn't do that. I feel like Sidney and Gail have come a long way. I think they're truly friends now. And I would like to think that Tatum considers Gail to be an aunt, you know, like a family member. So I wouldn't want Tatum to punch her, really. It would be cool if someone punches Gail, you know? I liked a lot in Scream 6 how Tara punched her. So it would be cool if someone punches her, but I don't want it to be Tatum. And I don't think Sidney would do it at this point. They've been through way too much together. Thank you, Yuno, for your super chat. Let's see here. The Red Man says, loving the shot of Tatum running in the empty town at night. Must be past the curfew. Yes, I love that shot as well. I think I have it here. I don't have Tatum in the town, but I have Ghostface, which was like immediately after that shot of Tatum. Yeah, this town is a ghost town. Everyone must be obeying the curfew and they're inside. I am so excited for this scene. I'm really hoping it's an epic chase scene, something that we have not gotten in a very long time. I think since that original trilogy. Scream 5 and 6, no good chase scenes. Scream 4, I don't think had many either, right? Scream 3, what was a good chase scene in Scream 3? Oh, Sidney had a good one in Scream 3 on the set of Stab. So yeah, it's been a long, long time since we got a good chase scene. And I think with Kevin Williamson back, we're gonna get some of that magic back from that original set of movies. Chase scenes, suspense, mystery. I cannot wait. So exciting. Thank you, Redman. Let's see. I do think we're gonna wrap up in just a couple minutes. Sort of a quick one tonight. I wish I could keep going, but woke up very early today and gotta do it again tomorrow. I have a big feeling Stu is alive. You and me both, my friend. He's back, baby. Marcus says apparently a longer trailer will be released during the Super Bowl. What? We didn't get a second trailer for Scream 6 until 3 days before the movie. So the same could apply here. Interesting. It would be hilarious if all of this marketing has been reverse psychology, making us think it's too obvious and that Stu is dead while actually bringing him back. Doubt it will happen, though. That's kind of exactly what I think is happening. You know, like I talked about this back when Matthew Lillard was first announced, which, by the way, was like exactly a year ago. I meant to make a post about this and I forgot. I'm pissed about that. I just realized. January 30th of 2025. I'll never forget that day. it was the day we found out Matthew Lillard is returning. And, you know, people were losing their minds, myself included, wondering why would they announce this? Why would they announce that Matthew Lillard is back? Doesn't that ruin the surprise that Stu's alive? And no, it's like one of those things where what the hell are they really going to do? It's a question of will they or won't they? Um yeah, I think there could be a whole lot of reverse psychology going on with this, you know? I think it was also strategic to announce Scott Foley that same day because it's like, okay, Roman Bridger was shot in the head, so he's dead. Stu Macher is supposed to be dead. So are they both coming back as a flashback? Like what's going on? Yeah, I think this is all just a lot of people are going to be surprised. um that's for sure. Um Couple more super chats before we end the stream. The Red Man said someone mentioned it reminded them of Helen's chase scene from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Kevin Williamson also wrote the screenplay. Yeah, it's definitely giving a similar vibe. That chase scene is amazing. The Helen Shivers chase scene. So yeah, I just hope we can get back to some of that magic of like the late 90s, early 2000s. They really just don't make movies like that anymore. You know, it sounds so cliche to say that, but it's the truth. And Kevin Williamson was a big part of that magic that used to exist. Now he's back. And I think him teaming up with Guy Busick is gonna be really good. You know, I think I don't know. It's just Guy Busick has been the Stu believer out of that duo from 5 and 6 with James Vanderbilt. I don't think Vanderbilt's back for 7. I think it's just Busick and Williamson. So hopefully they do the damn thing. Thank you, Redman, for all of your super chats tonight. Super generous. And Yuno has sent out another super chat. Gail could push it about Hannah dying if she dies, and Tatum wouldn't be in the mood to chat about her friend dying. Could be a reason for a punch. That's a good point. You never know. You know, emotions are heightened. People are dying. Loved ones are dying. You never know what's going to happen. That is a good point. Definitely possible. Thank you so much, Yuno, for all of your super chats tonight. Let's see. I think that those are all of the images I wanted to talk about. Oh, we do also have this shot of Tatum with the shotgun. Hold up. Where is it? One last image here. Tatum with the shotgun. Super excited to see this. It's just a part of that intense chase scene that we're hopefully getting. Eric says we can see Celeste's body dead in the background of the new TV spot. Oh no, I must have missed that. But who knows? Maybe she could just be passed out. I don't know. She probably does die though. You're probably right. Okay. We are going to call it a night. Unfortunately, I wish we could hang out all night, but that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for the past hour and 20 minutes. Super fun as always. I'm going to try to do a few more streams. Okay, I see people in the chat are saying someone is leaking stuff. All right, I blocked them. I got them. All right, guys. Go check out my most recent video from earlier today if you haven't done so already. Please give it a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Also, just a reminder, I do have my Stew Crew t-shirts for sale. If anyone wants to purchase one, they should be linked down below underneath this live stream or in sorry, I'm trying to pull up the image. In the store section on my channel. They're pretty fun in my opinion, so please consider buying one. But thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who hung out for the past hour and 20 minutes. We had at one point 170 people here right now, which is insane. Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned. Lots more videos and live streams to come over the next 24 days. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I will catch you guys next time.